I've lived in Atlanta for over 15 years, so I feel like I know what a hot summer day is, but little did I know that Philadelphia in July was gonna re-educate me.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey everybody, my name is AJ. I'm a video director based in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been traveling recently over the course of a week to capture stories and footage for one single project. So I have 4 cities to go to. I'm in Boston, this time in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The third city of those 4 was Philadelphia, and it was in July, and I've never been as hot as I was on that day. Of course, I was wearing dress clothes. I flew in, just walking from the airport to the rental car, just about killed me. And I thought maybe I wasn't used to it, but everyone around me was talking about how hot it was. I'm thinking that it's not necessarily always that hot, but this July day was sweltering. When I arrived on my flight from Atlanta to Philadelphia, I grabbed my rental car, which actually ended up being a Jeep Wrangler because they were out of the other SUVs. I'm in Philadelphia and I got my rental car, and check out what they gave me. A brand new Jeep Wrangler, which was cool because I drive a Jeep at home. And so I grabbed it, went, picked up my rental gear, and then headed to the filming location. So you have to go through this glass tube to get in this building. So we're gonna see if Michael makes it or not, because I came through with a case. He's got a bunch of, oh yeah, you fit fine. You fit fine. That's too bad. We went to dinner and then of course got some ice cream because it was just sweltering. After it cooled off just a little bit, I went out and tried to get some photos of kind of the downtown area, but I was waiting so long for the heat to kind of die down that I only had about, an hour and a half to kind of walk around. I put all my chips into the idea of going and walking out onto the Ben Franklin Bridge and then shooting a photo of the skyline of Philadelphia. And it was getting pretty dark, and I'm walking out on this bridge that ended up being a lot bigger than I thought it was, and this little cop vehicle thing comes down and says, hey, what are you doing out here? And I said, oh, I'm just shooting some photos. And the guy says, well, I'm closing the bridge on the Philadelphia side in about 15 minutes. He said, you got to get off this bridge. And so here I was. It took me forever to get out onto the middle of this bridge, and so I had to run. I snapped my photos and I had to run back off that bridge. Good thing I didn't get stuck on that bridge, otherwise I'd be, I don't know what, walking to the other side and hoping I can get off the other side. The next morning, there was no filming. It was a travel day between 2 cities on this 4-city tour. I had the morning to pack and get situated, and then right before I headed out, I went to Geno's Steaks, which is, from what I understand, the best place to get a Philly cheesesteak. It's kind of cash only. You better know what you want in line, and the people are super direct and they're just cranking people through. So it was cool to be able to experience what I understand is the best Philly cheesesteak in Philadelphia, or at least the most famous. What I learned on this trip is that the pedestrian sidewalk on the Ben Franklin Bridge closes at 9 o'clock. So if you plan to go get photos or walk on the bridge, you better plan to be back in Philadelphia by 9.